As we only have 3 series remaining. We have both semis and then the grand finals.
Yeah, we're not gonna cast a bronze match. That's just gonna go on. I guess we could, but why would we? Anyway, we're gonna be kicking off our best of 3 semifinals now on Dragon Scales, where we're here in the bottom right hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right hand corner. We have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of Germany. He is, of course, going to be representing Berlin International Gaming, if I remember that right. It could have just been Berlin or something or another. He is big. He is the Mauer. He is ShoWTimE.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player himself, the Grand Tuna, representing Onsite Gaming. It is Ryung. The Sparkling Tuna, even.
Oh, that's right. He hasn't played in a Sparkling Tuna Cup yet, I don't think.
No. Beyond has, not Ryung.
Yeah.
Cure has.
It's been a while since we've seen Beyond.
It has. I'm shaking my
Cure
head.
has won a few of them, actually.
He has walked that royal road.
The only road that he has ever known. Don't know where it goes.
Oh god, as we saw Oliveira being hyper aggressive against MaxPax and not really working in his TVP, but now we have a very different one instead. Interesting. 2 TVPs for both semis.
I wonder, and it's both Korean Terrans versus German. No, wait, MaxPax is
not quite.
Denmarkian.
It's not
Danish.
They're not the same, Papi. They're not the same. Apple, please. Oh god, but yeah, the European Protoss against the Korean Terrans. That is the story of tonight's semis, and we'll see which comes out on top.
But they're all very different players. Regardless, I think if we're looking at the Terran players, Cure is definitely known a lot more for his multi-prong style. Ryung doesn't mind going for drop play if he has to, but if he can avoid it, he would rather go for timing attacks, as we saw earlier on. MaxPax, as we were kind of alluding to, is a very versatile player. Recently has been playing very defensive, but that's mostly against his will. ShoWTimE, on the other hand, he loves playing defensive. That is what he's been known for many times, and yeah, he can still play. He can still go out with, he can still play aggressively here and there, but usually he reserves that for when he's up against a player who he knows he's the underdog against, when he knows he needs to try something different.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting dynamic. So one, ShoWTimE is going to be taking the defensive position this game, because as he definitely moves out across the map and sees all these Marines, he doesn't know how many, because we do have a much more standard 3 racks here from Ryung. It's not that weird 1-base shenanigans that we saw from Oliveira. This is a lot more normal, and this is ideal against these Stargate openers that ShoWTimE is going for.
Yeah, this Oracle's going to go across the map, and it's going to be able to scout this eventually, but Ryung is already getting ready to go across the map. He's getting stim, he's getting combat shields, the standard thing that you want. Not seeing the Reaper and seeing this many... Wait, did we have a Reaper? We didn't have a Reaper, right. Not seeing the Reaper and seeing this many Marines is a little bit of a tell, but it's not confirmation just yet.
Especially because 2-1-1s have been rising in popularity in TVP. So here we go. The Oracle dives into the main, does confirm all these racks, and now ShoWTimE is fully aware of the 3 racks.
Indeed, he is. Interesting that Ryung is going for straight up 3 racks this time instead of when he went up against Hero and he went for a racks factory into 2 more axes.
Yeah, so kind of a different setup here. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE reacts immediately with a safety robo, which is quite important. He's throwing down shield batteries as well. With this robo, he can get into faster immortal production. And again, he just, oh my god, he throws down 2 more shield batteries as he needs to take this as seriously as possible. But we can see that Ryung is already starting to transition here with that factory.
Yeah, ShoWTimE's going to delay this for as long as possible with his oracles, but it shouldn't take it shouldn't be too much of an issue for Ryung to restart production. Oh, this is quite a number of SCVs going down, and unlike Hero, ShoWTimE keeps his Oracles alive.
Yeah, the Oracles do survive. ShoWTimE is taking a third base behind this. We've got a Bay on the way, and now Ryung is on a timer. If a Colossus comes out, that is going to spell the end of this push, but Ryung is getting ready to move out across the map. Oh, actually, he's trying to catch these Oracles.
Yeah, a great move here from ShoWTimE, just distracting the army of Ryung. You're forcing a stim out of these units here.
Yeah, Ryung was hoping that maybe ShoWTimE would leave the Oracles idle at the third base location, but no, ShoWTimE actually went back home instead, and yeah, it looks like Ryung is going to have to be looking to hit a later timing, and I do respect this. Like, he's moving out a little bit here, but I don't think he's going to be committing.
Yeah, he's just kind of keeping his units in the middle of the map to catch a move out, or ideally, if the Oracles move that way, he's going to be able to catch them out as well. He's in for the next stage of the game. He's getting ready for his next push. Well, I say next push, but the first push hasn't started yet. He's getting ready for the next tier is what I meant, which involves Marauders and Medivacs. That is why the army was in the middle of the map, to catch these Oracles.
Very nice pickups here by Ryung. He gets 2 Oracles essentially for free. I mean, he lost 4 SCVs earlier, but nice pickups nonetheless. And now ShoWTimE is going to be that much more in the dark. Back at home, he's transitioning into Phoenix production, so Phoenix Colossus will be his eventual composition. But Ryung is going to hit a little bit later, a little bit harder, with +1 with these Medivacs, with maybe even tanks.
Yeah, we'll see, because he really wants to hit right now, and I don't think he is willing to wait for his tanks to get into position. ShoWTimE scouts the army move out, and he's going to be repositioning his Colossus and whatnot. No thermal nets just yet, but you don't want to be underestimating this. Oh, Ryung, going for a bit of multi-prong.
Oh, it is spotted by the Adepts, and the Phoenixes come in to intercept as well. The drops are going to be denied, and the Medivac barely survives. Oh my god.
Yeah, nice of Ryung to keep the Medivac alive, but it just shuts down his plan so hard. This is why ShoWTimE is Demour.
This is also why Phoenix Colossus is so popular, because the Colossi, they defend against any kind of ground push, and the Phoenixes shut down any kind of drop play as well. So Ryung, trying to be aggressive, is denied, and now he's going to have to back off transition. We have a 3rd CC finishing up here for Ryung.
Yeah, not too late this time. He is going to be landing it, and he will be able to catch back up eventually economically. I appreciate that Ryung, you know, despite setting up for early game drops, has recognized there's no way I'm going to be able to break this. There's no way I'm going to be able to crack that wall. So I'm just going to force ShoWTimE to play a little bit more defensively, ideally delay a 4th base as well, and then just set macro up back at home.
Yeah, I love how disciplined Ryung has been with his army. I think very commonly we see players, because they open up with the 3 racks, just like commit anyway, regardless of what's been happening, and try to hit their timings. But Ryung, he respects his opponent. He recognizes that, you know, it's going to be a little bit risky, and that ShoWTimE has plenty to defend, so he's been preserving his Marines and Marauders. He's been very, very tentative to commit, and we can see that in the units lost time. He's only lost 2 Marines this game. Like, he's preserved everything else.
Why you gotta call me out like that, like? I built 3 racks. I must go. That's, yeah. I understand that. I understand that line of thinking very, very well. Let me tell you.
Shaking my head.
I understand that rationale.
Oh my god, but no, not from Ryung, as we do see the Phoenixes trying to harass a little bit. They do get 2 SCVs, but Ryung is in position to force them back. We're also transitioning into Viking production out of Medivacs, and these Vikings are dual purpose. They do take down both the Colossi and the Phoenixes.
Yeah, they're not necessarily the they don't necessarily do that much damage against Phoenixes, as they aren't armored units, but they have a lot of health on them. On a one-on-one engagement, the Viking is always going to win against the Phoenix.
Yeah, but the Phoenixes are looking to catch some of these reinforcements as well. They do pick up some of these Marines. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE is getting ready with his army. He does have 1 Disruptor behind this.
And 1 good Nova can really be all it takes to pop the Bio Army, the Terran Bio Army.
It really can, as a couple more Marines do get picked off by these Phoenixes. It looks like ShoWTimE is maybe waiting for maybe Ryung to move out of position before he can dive on in and maybe catch some tanks. What's important though is, as ShoWTimE postures, he expands and he takes a 4th.
Yeah, much sooner than, I mean, Ryung is only now getting ready for setting up his 4th base, and he delayed that 4th base because he was setting up for a big push. He now has 1-1. He has a couple of Ghost Thrower into the mix, but ShoWTimE is also maxed out.
Yeah, and here we go. We're going to be engaging here. The tanks, they get caught on siege. I don't think Ryung really wanted to fight, but he's forced to.
Yeah, not in this position anyway. Funnily enough, I think the Graviton from the Phoenixes actually saved a couple of tanks, but in the end, Ryung is losing his entire ground army. Vikings are doing whatever they can to deal with the Colossus, but they're getting a little bit distracted by the Phoenixes, and Ryung moved out and immediately got pushed back. He barely made it out the front door before he was thrown back in.
I mean, again, he just wasn't expecting the army to be in the dead center of the map. He was caught off guard. Not the best fight to take there, as he lost almost everything.
Pretty much everything. He's going to lose his 3rd base. He already lost his ground army, and he's going to lose what remains of that. GG is called, and ShoWTimE takes game number 1 very decisively.
GG. Ryung was playing on a knife's edge. One slip up is all it takes to really lose your cool and lose the game, and that's exactly what happened there. Like, Ryung was so careful with his army up until that point, and then he just, was caught out. The Colossi were already laying siege upon him. He was forced to siege up, and immediately the tanks were lifted as well. It was a very haphazard fight.
Yeah, it was a very patient play coming out from not patience play. Very big difference. Very patient play coming out from ShoWTimE. He was in the middle of the map, but he was still playing defensively. He never wanted to push into Ryung when he knew that there were tanks set up, when he knew that there was an entire bio army set up over there. So he just chilled out outside of Ryung's bases and waited for Ryung to push into him. And it worked out brilliantly.
Yeah, the patience did pay off in the end for ShoWTimE, and with that, he's able to take a lead in this series. One more is all he needs to move on to the grand finals. As a reminder, it is still a best of 3, but I believe in the Tuna, I believe in the Ryung. I want to believe he can bring it back.
Yeah, he's already taken out the best Protoss player in the world, but can he take out the... I don't think it's too much of a stretch to consider him the 3rd best player, right? ShoWTimE? He's in the top 5 at least.
I would confidently say that he's top 2 in Europe, at least. Top 2 in Europe.
Yeah.
ShoWTimE.
Him and MaxPax. Let's see. I would say in the top 5, Hero, MaxPax, definitely the 2 contenders for top place. Who else are the Protoss players in Korea? It's a bit of a dark age in Korea. Creator, obviously, yeah. Creator. Yeah, I put Creator up there. Classic, I want to put in the top 5, but I don't think he's been as consistent. Maybe number 5.
I'd say Creator, Hero, Classic, MaxPax, and ShoWTimE in no particular order, but they are definitely up there.
And I'd throw Australia in there as well, just because I like Australia. Hey, he's been playing pretty well, too. Yeah. To be fair. Anyway, we're over here in Ancient Cistern, continuing our best of 3 semifinals. We're over here in the bottom left-hand quarter of the map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand quarter. We have our red Protoss player coming out from the land of Germany. He's, of course, going to be representing Berlin International Gaming. I believe that's what the acronym is. He is big. He is ShoWTimE.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Onside Gaming. He is the Hero Slayer. It is Ryung.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's already achieved so much in this tournament, taking down Hero, taking down Wayne. What is one more Protoss? Well, he's going to have to be playing this series from behind, already slipping up a little bit. One more loss, and that's it. He's done.
He's out of here. Yeah.
To the bronze match, I guess.
Oh, well, yeah. Forgot that we had that in KungFu Cup.
So you don't want to be in the bronze match. You want to be in the finals. You know, that's what you really want.
Yeah, you don't want to be. You don't want to have to fight to get a medal here. you don't want to fight for third place. You know, you want to be able to fight for first place, and even if you lose, you know, second place ain't bad.
True, true. So we'll see how this does turn out here.
Yeah, I had a point to that, but I but I stopped. But my brain kind of derailed halfway. What I meant to say is that you know, getting into the finals already is like pretty good. That's what I meant to say.
We understood you, Puppy. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Even if you do get into the finals, you want to win anyway.
It's getting late. All right, you know the KFC goes into the night, and it's already more than midnight here in the land of Australia. So you know the brain does start to turn off at a certain point. That's fine.
They stop delivering at this point.
They do.
They're close at this point. Only Macca's is open.
You're not wrong. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. As you do see ShoWTimE once again going for a Stargate opening.
Yeah, pretty safe and standard here from ShoWTimE. Ryung is switching things up and going for more of a 2-1.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes for... I mean, this is looking like what he did against Hero, right? Where he went for, like, a factory after the initial racks into 2 more raxes. So we'll see. Before that happens, though, the Adept of ShoWTimE is being as annoying as possible, delaying any kind of mining at the natural.
Yeah, definitely one way of utilizing your Adept. There are Reapers in the bunker who don't really want to, tickle the Adept just yet. But soon we shall. Or soon they shall.
As the Adept does get the hell out of there. Wise choice, as the Cyclone is on the horizon, and we don't want to be losing units for nothing. There is that third Rax that we were talking about, so Ryung is going back to his opener that he played against Hero earlier in the day.
Yeah, prioritizing the Cyclone, which is very, very safe. It is going to be able to deal with any Oracles coming Ryung's way, and it will mean that he doesn't have to rely on having a lot of Marines in the middle of the map.
Yeah, speaking of, we do have a bit of a lock on there, and the Oracle is forced back. We do have a second Oracle behind this, though, so ShoWTimE is doubling down. He's looking to get some damage done here. Behind the double Oracle, he goes for a fast third.
Yeah, a quick third base as he knows he has the map control. I was hoping he'd triple down and go for a third Oracle here, but no, ShoWTimE does switch production to Phoenixes, which, again, very, very safe. Very, very defensive.
With those double Oracles, we just dive on top of that Cyclone. The Cyclone will be going down. And how good is the target firing? Good, but not good enough as the Oracle survives.
Yeah, great starter stepping coming out from ShoWTimE. Going to be able to minimize the damage on these Oracles and take out that Cyclone. I'm a little bit surprised we don't see a second Cyclone come out from Ryung here, but I guess he does want to prioritize his push ahead of everything. He's already working on Stim. Alright, Stim is about to finish up actually very, very quickly, and yeah, he's already working on +1.
Is working on that bio push. We do have a bit of an add-on swap for those medevacs. The first 2 medevacs are on the way, and once they're done, we can move out across the map with this kind of pseudo timing with those medevacs. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE, Phoenixes, and Colossus are behind it, as to be expected.
Pretty much. I mean, he's gotten a full scout of Ryung's build so far. He has identified the 3 racks. He has identified the 3-1-1 coming his way, so all ShoWTimE has to do is defend. And let me tell you, ShoWTimE knows how to defend.
That's kind of what Phoenix Colossus is designed for, May. You know, it's designed to cut corners and defend with as minimal units as possible, being those Colossi and Phoenixes. But here we go, the double jump is being sent out across the map, and can Ryung move out unscouted?
He's doing a pretty good job of avoiding a scout so far. ShoWTimE is patrolling a Phoenix outside his main base, though.
The Phoenix is on patrol. The Oracles are looking to dip on in. They do go for the Revelation. They should be recognizing that, hey, some of the units are missing. The Phoenix count is slowly getting higher and higher. We do have a shield battery in the main.
Yeah, I don't think this drop is going to be able to do too much here. Phoenixes do catch the medevacs and Ryung. Oh, a little bit indecisive.
Yeah.
Sticks around and, sticks around and decides, nope, not going in.
It doesn't commit. He's forcing a reaction. Zelta coming into the main base. ShoWTimE is splitting up his army. A force here in the main. A force in between the natural and the third. Likewise, Ryung is going to try and pull off his multi-prong aggression.
Yeah, which you might as well try to do right now, you know? He knows that ShoWTimE has been building behind all this, or has been macroing behind all this, so he doesn't want to commit too much, but any damage he can get right now is going to be a positive for him.
Yeah, but the force fields are pretty damn good, and Marines are falling left and right. I was afraid to look, but if you look at the units lost tab, ShoWTimE has lost nothing this game.
He's lost one stasis ward, you know, which
True.
doesn't cost any resources at all, but, you know. Yeah, this has been a very efficient defense so far from ShoWTimE. Not only defense, but harass as well. He hasn't lost any of his oracles or anything.
Just efficient play all around by ShoWTimE. He's got spotters all around as well. Phoenixes covering the main, stasis traps in the middle of the map, just to make sure he has eyes on any kind of push from Ryung.
Yeah, his eyes are everywhere on the map right now, and he sees all.
And we're even going into a second Stargate.
Interesting. Doubling down the Phoenixes? Question mark?
Yeah. We're just going to be doubling down on Phoenix production, and there we go. 2 Phoenixes are being pumped out at a time right now, once again, to shut down not just the medevacs, but also the tanks. Meanwhile, we're still only working with 1 Robo, but once ShoWTimE gets his 4th up and running, we should be throwing down a 2nd.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is freedom right here. What you're seeing right now from ShoWTimE is pure, unadulterated map freedom, where you don't have to worry about anything coming your way because you already defended the initial move out, and you can do whatever you want.
Pretty much. And what ShoWTimE wants to do is move out himself here. Ryung has been taking behind this. We have Viking production on the way. We have a Ghost Academy for those EMPs as well. Ryung's army is not looking too bad, but it's looking a little bit slim here as, God, our Protoss army is moving out.
Yeah, Ryung's even a little bit spooked by the looks of things. Seeing observers where there were none. Scanning his own army.
He's on siege!
And once again, ShoWTimE is able to hit Ryung just as he moves out. ShoWTimE ambushing him right outside his front door, catching him completely on siege. Not only on siege, but completely with his army completely split up as well. Reinforcements have been dealt with, and ShoWTimE is cleaning this out. Even if he doesn't take out the army, he's already taken out so many ACVs that it's going to be near impossible for Ryung to recover.
Yeah, how does he do it? How does ShoWTimE snake his way around and catch Ryung at just the most opportune moment for him? And unfortunately, Ryung lost almost everything. 23 ACVs went down, the tanks as well. He has a lot of medevacs, he has a decent amount of Marines, but in the face of 2 Colossi, those Marines don't mean much.
Yeah, potentially even 3 Colossus if they do come down. Not a lot of anti-air here for ShoWTimE, so these Vikings are going to be able to put a stop to the Phoenixes, but the boys were pulled, boys were killed, and at the end of the day, Ryung gave up everything to barely hold on. Going for a massive counterattack right now, but ShoWTimE is setting up back home. He has his shield batteries, he has his stack defenses, but he is a little bit out of position.
Yeah, Ryung is pretty all in, and you could be looking at his army supply and being like, oh, that's a lot of supply. Well, a lot of that is in medevacs. Yep. He's got a lot of medevacs right now, so his army isn't as large as it otherwise appears to be. We do see ShoWTimE completely just gives up on his 4th base, and that is fine. ShoWTimE can survive on 3 bases. He just has to buy some time here, and oh, he's even peeling off one of his disruptors for a flanking Nova. It's
not an exaggeration to say that ShoWTimE, even if ShoWTimE loses half his workers, he'd still be ahead.
Yeah. He really would be. And here we go. Ryung is looking for an angle, but that disruptor, oh my god, I can see it so clearly. Oh, it does reveal itself.
A little bit too quick, but yeah, he did wait until the very last moment to throw out a Purification Nova, so it still gets a couple of units on the retreat. Ryung is waiting for an opportunity to present itself, but there are none. There's no presentation.
We'll see. I mean, he's looking for a way in. For the time being, ShoWTimE is keeping up with the rotations. He does have an observer covering this army, covering this path. ShoWTimE's crazy. Okay, I was like, is he really going to go for a counterattack? No, he's setting up a flanking force here towards the north.
And he could go for a counterattack. I don't think it will work out too well for him, but definitely a possibility right now with the army that he has. Liberators are starting to get set up, and again, this is a really nice foothold for Ryung.
Yeah.
But the Zealots are coming in from the back. The Liberators have been dealt with, as have the tanks. And this is just going to be GG.
Yeah, everything gets cleaned up, and there we have it. ShoWTimE comes in from the front, from behind. GG gets called, and ShoWTimE advances on to the grand finals.
Beautifully done here from ShoWTimE. Very cleanly handled. That was... I'm not really sure how to describe that play from ShoWTimE other than active defense. He was still playing relatively defensively, you know. It wasn't like he was pushing into Ryung or anything, but he wasn't defending at his side of the map. He made sure that he had a map presence, and yeah, he was able to set up a little bit of a foothold at positions where Ryung could push into him, and yeah, that allowed him to catch him completely on siege. GG, very well played. My heart goes out to Ryung a little bit, but he's, I think, defied a lot of expectations making it this far, and will still be able to face off in the bronze match.
Yeah, like, I hope Ryung isn't feeling too upset about his performance here. As you were saying, he still has another series ahead of him, but like making it this far, taking down Hero, taking down Wayne, it was very impressive, and it was a really good showing by Ryung. I'm really happy to see him doing well. Like, I'm a massive Ryung fan myself, so great to see him in form. Unfortunately not able to overcome ShoWTimE, but you can't win them all, and yeah, congratulations to ShoWTimE. He's going to be our first finalist, and now we're about to find out our second.